Parents forced me to cancel my vacation due to financial constraints. But then I found their cruise tickets. After not confronting them, they regret everything. I saw it while cleaning my parents' kitchen and watching my nephew. A thick envelope laid out half open like nothing. The front logo caught my eye first. An upscale cruise line from luxury travel ads. Frowning, I took out the papers. It took 3 seconds to grasp what I was seeing. Complete itinerary. My parents. My bro. My sister. Her husband. Even their kids. Fully paid week-long cruise. My stomach sank. My heart pounded as I clutched the papers. This must be wrong. Vacations were too expensive. They informed me. Money constraints forced me to cancel my vacation 2 months ago. My best friends planned it a year ahead. I took 5 days at an all-inclusive resort, my first real break in years. I saved every penny, worked overtime, and skipped nights out to afford it. Then my parents sat me down and asked for help. Mom said, shaking her head, "It's not responsible for us to take vacations right now. Each of us must sacrifice." So I canceled. My friends were sad but understood. They left me. Standing in my parents' kitchen with proof they lied to me, I snapped. Not just on vacation. They left without telling me. No one mentioned it. Not once. My brother texted me that morning about borrowing money for car repairs. My sister wanted me to babysit next weekend. My mom called yesterday to talk about nothing. However, they were going on a cruise in 2 days. My work schedule prevented me from taking a cruise at that time. I examined the paper's dates. This wasn't random. Not just forgotten to invite me. They scheduled it when I couldn't attend. Suppose I found out and wanted to join. My mom hummed as she walked down the hall. I put the papers back in the envelope and left the counter as she entered. She grabbed a bottle of water from the fridge and said, "Thanks for watching him today, honey. You save lives." I nodded. I doubted my speech. He had no idea. Not guilty. Without hesitation. Forced a smile. "No problem." The clock caught her eye. "Oh, I need to get some things first." Like she almost said something wrong, she stopped. I waited. Clearing her throat, she smiled. "Before dinner." I let her go silently. My family didn't practice fairness. I learned early. When I was 6, I wanted dance classes. Mom sighed and said they were too expensive. We couldn't afford that. It made sense. I was a kid but not selfish. Dropped it. My sister learned horseback riding a month later. Not one time. Private weekly sessions. Our parents called it an investment because of her passion. Never noticed the issue. My whole life was like that. My siblings got their wish. Got excuses. At 12, I wanted a new bike. My brother got one for his birthday. Stylish blue mountain bike with thick tires. After I asked. My dad gave me my brother's old one. The seat was torn, handlebars wobbled and brakes barely worked. "Still good," he said. "We shouldn't waste money, right?" At 15. She said, "We can't afford it now, honey." A lot of money. Maybe next year. Nodding, I swallowed my disappointment. I understood things by then. My brother skied with friends a month later. My parents covered everything. I inquired once. Just once. Mom grinned tiredly. "Sweetheart, it's different. He required this. Important for his social life." Right. Because mine wasn't. After that, I stopped asking. By college, I understood my family role. I was accountable. Independent. The self-sufficient one. My brother and sister got handouts. I got hard work lectures. My sister's wedding? My parents covered everything. Venue, catering, attire. Everything. My graduation card was congratulatory. No cash. Unsupported. Just words. In his 20s, my brother struggled. He had credit card debt, lost jobs, and made bad financial decisions. My parents always saved him. Dad told me I'm fine on my own when I asked why they never helped me like they helped him. Always giving, never getting. What about vacations? It was the last straw. It had happened before. Plans, trips, and ideas were discussed until booking. An event would occur suddenly. Money would tighten. Someone needs aid. My sister's kids had school, my brother worked, or my parents had too many monthly expenses. We'd cancel. Or so I thought. I saw the truth in those cruise tickets. They didn't cancel vacations. They canceled my vacations. Any trip with me would magically fail. When they were alone, money was never an issue. I considered all the times I sacrificed for them. My missed trips. I disappointed friends. Years of prioritizing them. I considered how they had betrayed me. How they didn't tell me. How they planned it so I couldn't join if I found out. My excuses were useless this time. Things changed in me then. I said nothing. I avoided them. I didn't fuss. Just stopped. The first test was 2 days later. My sister panicked and called. Hey, can you watch the kids this weekend? Something at work happened, and I need the shift. My usual answer was yes. Always did. I would have changed my plans, given up my free time, and dropped everything to help her. I said I can't. Silence. What? Can't, I repeated. I'm Busse. Her voice sounded confused. Weekend plans are never made. That hurt worse than expected. She didn't mean to be rude. She meant I was always available. Not anymore. I apologized and hung up. The text began an hour later. Mother, your sister said you won't babysit? Are you okay? Just busy. Mom, busy with what? I remained silent. I let her deal with uncertainty. Next day, my brother called. Hey, random favor. I apologized. Budget is tight. Silence. Oh, really? He sounded surprised. Probably never turned him down. Yes, I said. All of us must sacrifice, right? His voice sounded confused. He muttered about solving it and hung up. They quickly noticed something was wrong. Mom called that night in a syrupy voice. Une. Everything okay? You're slightly distant. I reclined on my couch and watched the ceiling. I'm fine. Concentrating on work. Guga. She paused. This week we missed you. I nearly choked. They missed me? Who made an effort to keep me away? Very funny, I said. I didn't know you left. Silence. I left it heavy and sharp between us. He had no idea. I spoke casually. I hope you enjoyed. Before she could continue, I hung up. Cracks appeared quickly. My sister struggled without me. She had to pay for a sitter, making her extra shifts unprofitable. Brother had to manage his finances. When you spend money expecting someone else to catch you, reality hits hard when they don't. My parents. They weren't used to my distance. Missing calls. Not being there when needed. She was standing with a bag of homemade food as a peace offering when I opened the door. She smiled too broadly and said she'd bring you dinner. Let her in but didn't fill the silence like I used to. I let her fidget around my apartment like she was looking for signs of a problem. Finally she sighed. Hey. Just inform me. I blinked. Nothing's happening. Jess. She put the bag on the counter. You differed. You're ignoring calls and family. I'm not avoiding anyone, I said. I was busy. Her lips pressed. Are you mad at me? We assumed you're always busy at work. That's intriguing, voice. You didn't inquire. Swallowed hard. Not personal, honey. Was I said. As always. She opened her mouth but said nothing. Il était assis. My first time not letting her off the hook. I let her sit there uncomfortably, trying to change the conversation. I stopped her once. She could say nothing to change the situation. No improvemente excuse. I watched her perform her usual tricks. Unrealistic concern, guilt, and downplaying. No one landed. I stopped playing. She laughed after a moment of silence. Jess. Don't overreact. Just a trip. I grinned. Different from what she expected. You're right, I said. Now it's just me busy. Just prioritizing my life. Nothing personal. Her jaw tightened. She wasn't used to this side of the conversation. She left with a light-hearted tone, but I could tell she was nervous. The unknowing. She couldn't comprehend it. I didn't argue. I wasn't agitated. Just finished. My father arrived at my job the next day, so she must have called him on the way home. The glass doors of my office building revealed him waiting outside with his hands in his pockets. Typical. Why would he respect my boundaries now if he never did before? Walked outside without stopping. Just kept going to my car. Jess. He ran after me calling. Don't act like this. Unlocked my door. Like what? You're unreasonable. Mom is worried sick. You knew I couldn't leave work. So you planned it for that time. It wasn't accidental. He scoffed. We were supposed to plan our lives around you? No. Do not deceive me. He was quieted temporarily, making this bigger than it is. You've always been independent. We assumed you'd ignore this. That hurt. Not because it was true. You never considered me too independent when you needed money, babysitting, or favors. His face darkened. Jess. Sharply I said no. No spinning. You can't assume this is my fault. I closed the door. I drove away without looking back. But I wasn't done. I knew their operation. Without my explicit explanations, they'd tell themselves whatever made them feel better. I ensured one version existed. I blocked my sister's number at home. Then my brother's. Then my parents'. Then I did what I should have done long ago. I left family group chat. It happened instantly. Within a minute, my mom called my work phone. I ignored. An email appeared. You're doing what? Just this is childish. I don't know what you're doing, but we're your family. Return my call. It was deleted. Not my family. Not anymore. They chose that long ago. I finally made mine. I didn't expect things to fall apart so quickly without me. At first, I repaired a sinking ship before it became a problem. The whole thing was sinking fast without me. Mom called my work phone a week after I disconnected. Leave it on voicemail. Next day, another voicemail. This time she sounded tense. Jess, I don't get your point. Our family. You're complicating things. I know you don't want us to suffer. I ignored it. Real panic ensued. Call from unknown number. And another. And another. Finally, exhausted, I replied. Hello. Sharp breath. My sister spoke. Are you really letting Mom and Dad lose the house? I blinked. What? In arrears on their mortgage, she said. They helped me and Brandon when we needed it, but now there's trouble. Jess, they're weeks from ruin. Somewhere inside me froze. This was bigger than expected. I knew they struggled, but this? It was nearly impressive. Just months earlier, they took a luxury vacation. My guilt prevented me from supporting the family. They suddenly face financial ruin? You expect me to do what? I inquired flatly. Jessica, are you serious? Dad and Mom will be homeless. They need aid. Allowing that to sink in. They needed aid. Like I needed help growing up. Just like I needed support when I went to college, worked multiple jobs, and took care of myself while they gave you and Brandon money. They never supported me. But with their backs to the wall? Now I had to save them. My sister just tried again. Mom and Dad's house. Our childhood home. Can't just cut her off. What if I lost my job tomorrow? Couldn't pay my rent. And called for help? Would you take me in? Silence. Long, cold, telling silence. She said quieter, Jess. That's not. Yes, I said. Just the same. And you know. I hung up. I felt nothing this time. Not guilty. No doubts. Their choices were made. They lived with them now. A few days later, my mom visited my apartment. Not even surprised. She stood there with a pale face and red eyes like she had been crying when I opened the door. Her pretense was non-existent this time. She whispered, Jess. Nowhere else to go. I let our words settle. He meant it. All options were exhausted. Burned all lifelines. I was their last resort. I realized then that letting them back in. They would never stop if I helped them now after everything. They never changed. I'd never escape. I inhaled slowly, holding the doorframe. Sorry, I said. I can't assist. Her lips trembling. Jess. Please. If I were standing here, I asked softly. Would you let me in? Her eyes welled with tears. Our daughter. I nodded. I was your daughter when you excluded me. I retreated and closed the door. Standing, I listened. Waiting. Her cry was heard. I heard her plead again. Finally, I heard her leave. I breathed out, feeling lighter. It ended. Am I wrong for not helping her? Post your comments.